Okay, thank you, Kyle. And Diane, thank you very much. My name is Terry Mullally. I'm General Manager of Reva Solutions. I wanted to introduce my colleague and friend, Ishwar Alluri, who's our Chief Architect and founder of Reva Solutions. So we're going to take a minute just to introduce the product that we've created, or the solution that we've created with the SDK. So our product is called Documentum D2 for ServiceNow. How many of you out there are using our Documentum customers today? So just about everybody in the room, great. How many of you are ServiceNow customers? Okay, a lot of those as well. So what we find in the market is that almost all of the clients that you ask know what ServiceNow is. They're using ServiceNow. They might be using it in a traditional form with ITSM, but they're offering a lot more these days, and we're doing things like HR documents, contract management, procurement, vendor operations, asset operations. So it's those areas are filled with a lot of documents. And that's where we found that having a Documentum as the perfect world to store that content instead of storing it in ServiceNow is really the way to go from a customer perspective. So ServiceNow likes to say that we make, sorry, I need to read that again. The world works with ServiceNow. We like to say that the world works better and more reliably with ServiceNow and Documentum. And we're going to demo the solution today. Ishwar is going to provide an overview, so I'm going to pass it over to him, and thank you for your attention.
Okay. Thank you, Terry. And today we have a use case that we are going to present. It's focused on HR service delivery. As you can see in my diagram, we are using two major components. One is Documentum. That's where we are storing all the employee files. Every employee in our organization would have their employee files in Documentum D2. And there are HR policies that are stored in D2. And we envision a scenario where ServiceNow is being used for putting in employee service requests. They go in, they do their ITSM, they do their HR, legal, all their cases and interactions through ServiceNow. I have two kinds of users in the demo today. One is the HR agent portal. They are the ones that are servicing these requests when they are coming in the ServiceNow. And we have on the back end, we have HR SME folks who are actively maintaining and updating policy documents and any other document that are specific to HR. So here's a high-level architecture. As you can see, we have Documentum D2 widgets, and we have our own custom widgets, and we have extended the SDK. The UI widgets on the ServiceNow, that's for the users, the smart UI, D2 widgets. So I'm going to go through which components we are using. And on top of not only using the D2 widgets and the D2 SDK, we also included OpenAI, like we have a ChatGPT, OpenAI integrated. So we integrate into the D2 search index, and so that the users can, HR agents can, or the HR SMEs can interactively query the documents and helping them expedite review process. So in the demo flow today, I have three people that are going to be interacting through ServiceNow, and we have Maria, who is going to work through D2. Okay. Okay, so what I've done is I'm going to start with D2, since it's a Documentum. I am logged in as a HR SME, so I just want to walk through how the documents are stored in Documentum. So we have created employee files. You can see under employee files folder, we have one folder for each employee. So let's say Abel is the person that's being used in the demo today. So there are predefined templates, and these are the folder structure that they have. All the documents get filed into one of these folders. Every time a new case is created, we are going to have a case folders, and for every case, there's a new case folder, and within that, all the case relevant documents are stored. So, and when you are interacting with ServiceNow, all of this content is being pushed from ServiceNow into D2 and being surfaced in ServiceNow. And also, we have other key type of documents, which are HR documents. So we have a lot of policies and checklists. So one of the key value of this integration is ServiceNow has its own knowledge base, but we don't want to replicate all our policies that are there in D2 getting replicated in ServiceNow and get searched there, and duplication of content. So we are going to we have integrated so that you can search your D2, your HR policies from within ServiceNow. Okay. So I'm logged in as employee, Able here. So today I want to do a tuition reimbursement. I'm going to go to the virtual agent in ServiceNow. So I'm interested in finding out what I have for tuition. So it said it found one. This is out of the box from ServiceNow. I want to see more. When I click more, you can see all these documents are coming from ServiceNow. I can click on this document. And as an employee, I can read the document directly that's sitting in D2 from within ServiceNow. Now that I've looked at what my expense policies are and I'm eligible for applying for a tuition reimbursement, I'll go back to my ServiceNow. I'll go ahead and fill up a new form. So let's say I'm taking a course from OpenText, and this is regarding XECM for ServiceNow, and these are the dates. And the course is online, and cost is like $1,000. And the reason is there's a newer version that I want to be trained on. And I want to attach the course details into the attachments. So there's a training course brochure that I want to apply. I want to update. Let me minimize this. I'll go ahead and submit my request for the reimbursement. So now that I've submitted, you can see that the attachment is still in ServiceNow at this point. It's going to go to my manager for review. So I'm going to log out. Log in as a manager. And here is a manager. They can look at the details of the course. I, as a manager, as Alan, can just approve it. Now, once he approves the document, we know that this is a legible request, and we will move the document into D2, and then we create a workspace in D2, and then we can send it to the agent to work on it. Okay, so now that it is done, I'm going to go into the agent workspace. This is ServiceNow has two different UIs. One is an end user employee UI, and then there is the agent UI. Agent UI is much more powerful. So as you can see, there's a new request that came in, 138. So I'll take a look at this request. I know it was just done now, tuition reimbursement, and these are the things. You can see that case no longer has attachments. It all moved to document. And we have a custom widget here built in ServiceNow that shows you the workspace that's there in the back end. So the document that I uploaded shows up in the folder. I want to just view it. So you can see that everything that you can do from D2, you can do it from within this widget. So I can preview this document from here. And then I can close it. I've looked at the document. As an agent, I myself am not sure what else is required. So I can go look up Agent Assist. This is another key feature that we have added is in the Agent Assist, we can still search the D2 policies like as an agent. Sorry, tuition. So as an agent, I can review a few documents. Let's say I found out that the user is not filled in the application properly, needs more documents. I can open this document. Preview it. Now I think this is useful for the customer or the end user, so I can just say, hey, look at this document. I can click on it, attach as a link, and send it to the please check this document so that the employee can add more, whatever is required. At the same time, while reviewing the document, I realized as an agent that this document is not complete. It needs some new revisions, so I can flag the document. What we do here is the moment you flag the document, and I'm going to say that missing few critical course types. Let's say it doesn't cover certain course types or something. I can flag the document. The moment I flag the document as an HR agent in ServiceNow, we kick off a workflow. It kicks off a workflow in D2. And the HR SME can go look at the D2. So what I'm going to do is, and also from this workspace, if I think everything is complete, I can close the case, I can I can generate approval letter and upload it to the folder. So now I'm going to go into the HR. I'm going to go into D2. As you can see, there's a new workflow task that's assigned to me. So when I open this workflow task, oops. See, this document came in. When I upload this, when I come into the task, so we have added 2 custom widgets within the widget panels. So here I can see all the case details from where this D2 workflow was generated. And I can also look at the notes. So whatever notes was put in by the agent in ServiceNow gets carried over to D2. So now as a SME, I know where this case was created and what they are looking for. I'm interested in looking at the document and say, okay, what is it really missing in the document? So this is the document that I have. I can go query on this document. So I can go to the ChatGPT. So here's a chatbot that we have built on top of this D2 as an extension custom widget. It said doesn't code. It doesn't. I want to know who are covered. It tells me these are the folks that are covered. I can then find out what courses. And I see that we have a policy around what courses are covered. Maybe this is not sufficient. So the SME can go and start review the process. And if the SME wants to check every HR document, the policy document within the system, we have a custom widget called T2HR AI. This will check across all your HR policy documents, not single document, but the whole policy. So if I say what are expense policies, see, the good thing about this, it will check across the database and give me the 3 relevant documents that have potential information of what I need to review as part of the process and see what all I need to update based on the feedback. Yeah, as I complete the whole process, you can see that I'll come back and log in as the original requester. So like enable, I want to go check on status of my request that went in before. So I can come here, I can look at my request. I can see I have this was all done and this was sent to me as a link, so I can open up that link. And also I can see the browser, the folder in D2 that had all my case documents. So if somebody has uploaded additional documents as an end user, I can look at that. And also the last thing I want to show is, when I'm in ServiceNow, let's say I want to look at all my employee files, my files without going to D2, I can click on my documents. See, I'm looking at my own file within ServiceNow. I don't have to go anywhere. I think that's the end of the demo. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good.
Judges, what do you think?
Clock starts.
Okay, yeah, great demo. I really enjoyed it. So ServiceNow, that is certainly a platform that is in use with many customers, and so the business relevance is very high. And we as OpenText, we don't provide a ServiceNow integration, as you know, and I think there's a big market potential for that. The Documentum customers and the ServiceNow customers, there's probably a big intersection set. So this is great, and I also enjoyed that how you demoed it, starting with the process and starting from the business application side from ServiceNow, and then showing how you have integrated that with SmartView. What is also interesting that you mixed in also generative AI, which is obviously the big topic here at the conference. So you didn't use the Aviator, but you used OpenAI. So that next time, certainly, once the Aviator is released, then this will certainly be used. So that is also interesting. And yeah, the integration with ServiceNow seems to be very seamless, what you have done. Of course, it's not fully productized yet. I understand that. From my side, I would say sums up whatever the result will be of the voting. I hope you will go forward with it and make it a product. So I liked it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
So I echo many of those thoughts. I think you guys did a great job. And what I noticed is that you really showed the power of the Documentum D2 SDK. So that's what we really want to see as customers. And I just realized in the last few days, it's kind of a coincidence, but I just realized that the George Washington University has already started to implement ServiceNow. So we've started to use it for some workflow capability, even some student admissions in our graduate program. But I've noticed that ServiceNow has started to gain traction in the marketplace. So I do think that was smart to, take this time and integrate ServiceNow with D2. I also liked how you use the OpenAI. So you're taking advantage of some of the latest technology that's out there. The way that you integrated with the chatbot. So these are the types of things we're getting used to seeing, right? Whenever we visit just about any website these days, right? I also like how you're utilizing the D2 workflow. I noticed that. And then the folder browser and the viewer so that you can open that seamlessly from within the ServiceNow application. So that was very quick. And those are the types of things I look for. I think I'm a little picky. But from what I can tell, I think you guys did a great job, and I wish you the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll echo the same, it's a great demo. You basically covered a good, use case, end-to-end HR use case. So that was well done. To show the bi-directional integration, it's not an easy task, and it was seamless. So again, great job on that front. We like to see content not being passed around in different systems and duplicated. So you basically showed a use case where content stays at one place, securely, obviously encrypted and within a secured repository. So that's something that we definitely look for when we integrate different systems together. And ServiceNow is not an exception. Like the fact that you're able to view the document within ServiceNow. So for the users, they don't have to go from ServiceNow to D2 back to ServiceNow to be able to view the content, which is most of the operations that are done with content. So all in all, great job.
Thank you.
So I got a minute and 45. I'm doing the timing. So, and I have a lot to say. I thought it was really good that you showcased. I counted at least 5 different areas where the SDK came in. One of them was the widgets in the workflow, the chat bot. Obviously, that was you had to do that. The folder browser, like Christian called out, the My Documents in ServiceNow, as well as the AI. I thought all of those were really good usages of the SDK. A couple other things. I think that you guys identified a very big business gap. Right, there is, as Mark said, there's a hole. This is not something that OpenText does, and that's a good thing to implement, because there is absolutely a market for it. It's really hard to do an end-to-end complete demo of what you guys did in 15 minutes. It's tough. I was up on stage this morning, and it's not easy to do something like that very quickly, and to make it, more importantly, look easy. right? I think that's the hard part. When you're trying to make something that is complex look seamless and easy, I think you guys did a very good job of that. And then I think that the other thing that was kind of buried in there that I really liked, there's a feature in SmartView that I know Mark likes it too, is the workflow display. And the fact that you displayed that both in SmartView as well as in ServiceNow, I thought was a really good usage of that powerful display of the activity that's gone on a workflow. And that is timed 6 minutes.
Awesome. Round of applause. Nice job. Very good.
Oh, thank you.
Excellent job. It almost looks like an extended ECM for Documentum ServiceNow. You could do stuff from both sides, from the ServiceNow side and from the Documentum side. Very cool.